All right, here we go. So, welcome everyone. This is the closing table. I am Connor Hancock with Community Lending. Very excited today because we have John Berkowitz here at the podcast. He is a former CEO of Movoto and also the current president of Real Estate at Lower, which is our parent company. So, welcome to the show, John. Appreciate you being here.
Thanks for having me, Connor.
All right, so yeah, you're welcome. So let's dive right in. So, if you can, just kind of briefly describe your background with Movoto, kind of how that industry and that company has evolved over the last, say 2 to 3 years. I mean, you can go back and talk about your career as well. Just give us a good
Yeah,
background.
cool. I'm a serial entrepreneur. Started a company out of college that was focused on online marketing in 2005, which was ahead of its time. Company called
Yep.
Yodel, amazing company that went on to serve 50,000 customers, do 200 million in revenue. Really kind of leaning into helping small businesses win in the new internet space. So I built that
Gotcha.
up. That was the first thing I did. We then sold that in an all cash deal to a publicly traded company. And then I went on to start Ojo. And Ojo was kind of a leader in AI and personalization at scale in 2015. So well ahead of its time.
Wow. Yeah,
Really kind of
definitely.
talking about chatbots and AI and machine learning.
Hmm.
People thought I was crazy on the conference circuit when I was talking about it.
Well, yeah, even over the last couple of years, I mean, it's advanced
Yeah.
dramatically.
Um,
Yeah.
and we were not in real estate. We started Ojo in the world of, all right, let's figure out bringing personalization and advanced technology to lots of consumer purchases.
Yep.
When we went into real estate, we realized there's a pretty big gap between people looking online on websites like Zillow or Redfin,
Hmm.
Movoto, Homes, and then doing a bunch of anonymous search ahead of working with real estate agents. And so we built technology and got patents in how to serve those consumers at scale. And as we got deeper, we got very excited about real estate and the
Yeah.
size of the opportunity.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, it's definitely changed over the last few years. So, given your career, how long would you say that you've been involved in, and it may have been your entire career, actual lead generation,
yeah,
directly?
I have
Is that pretty much
been.
your whole career?
My first business was built to evolve people from the yellow pages to the
Uh,
internet, and
I remember those days.
the core business was generate them leads off the internet. Then
Yep. Yep.
Ojo was all about how do we help you capture the value of internet leads you already have. Then Ojo went
Hmm.
on to acquire Movoto and build the first kind of end-to-end ecosystem from consumers searching anonymously to transacting with real estate professionals. And so, long story
Yep.
short, my entire career has been internet lead generation.
Yeah, kind of what I figured. Yeah. So yeah, so let's talk about the last well, pretty much ever since post COVID, it's been a weird time in the market. So I used to be professional money manager for about 15 years. I got into lending back in 2000, literally about probably 6 months before rates just
Yep.
skyrocketed. But you've got a lot of agents and loan officers that are fearful, they're anxious, looking for leads. A lot of turn to Zillow. And so, what would you say? Kind of answer the question really, but I mean, I want to get your perspective. What do you think agents are really struggling with right now?
Yeah, I mean, one thing, the background for us is so our company initially started in the world of we're not going to generate leads. We're going to help
Yeah.
agents and consumers bridge the gap. And we built a ton of technology to serve consumers at scale and then help them work with the best real estate agents locally. What I noticed in 2019 was that the leads were starting to consolidate down to a
Hmm.
handful of players. At
Right.
that time, all the top brokers had lots of leads. There was a bunch of portals, but that was starting to shrink to a very small few of people.
Yep.
So we went and we purchased Movoto and then invested a ton to make sure that it was one of the 5 most frequented websites out there.
Right.
That trend has continued
Oh
since
yeah.
COVID,
Yeah.
where leads are consolidating more,
Rapidly.
beneficial to us. But there's now only a few of us
Hmm.
that have real scale of consumers searching to begin their real estate journey.
Yep.
And what that's creating is a kind of feast versus famine situation for top teams and agents.
Mm-hmm.
The teams and agents that are leaning in to finding are starting to win and gain market share,
Yep.
and others are struggling because they don't have access to steady sources of business. And I think, a lot of the TCPA changes, you can't just go out and just start calling people anymore.
No,
You need to
no.
get people that have raised their hand.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Shows at least some interest. Yeah, so I work with a lot of different realtors, pretty much all over the state of Florida. I'm licensed in just Florida. Work with specific offices that, yeah, some have left, some stayed because they are known as a lead generation shop just for like Zillow or something like that.
Yep.
Some they're not crazy about it, but they have no other choice. They feel, but so there's some that are successful at it, some aren't. But I want to talk a little bit about the reality of online leads and lead gen services such as Zillow, Movoto, other ones. So why do you think that some agents say that it just doesn't work? They've tried it, they can't make it happen. What is the issue with that, you think?
Yeah, I think there are two facts. One, internet portal is not an internet portal, right? There are different models.
Right.
We very specifically work really hard to make sure that the human beings that we are introducing to our agent partners are ready, willing, and able to transact.
Yeah, we got to
right?
vet them.
We're not just shipping a lead over. We're having a conversation with the consumer. We're really figuring out what they want. And then we're thinking about who the right professional it is to introduce them. And that business models have changed over the years. A lot of our direct competitors don't do that at all. A lot of them, it's just a lead form handoff. And so the difference, if you just say like, what's an internet lead, you got to figure out who you're partnered with. And make sure that process is set up for success. And there is a lot of variation, as you can imagine, in the industry. So some people that say internet leads stink, that's a very fair thing because they're getting unqualified consumers handed off to them that don't even know they filled out a lead form. And that's just a bad experience. It's frankly bad for the consumer and bad for the agent.
Yeah, so, that is definitely true. There's different processes across the industry without a doubt, but looking from the agent's perspective, and this could be the same from a loan officer. We get leads from various sources as well. And it's kind of up to us. I mean, there are leads that are no good. They're just browsers. They have no intention to buy. They're not qualified. They know they're not qualified, but they just want to, go out and look at a house. But, I mean, what would you think that really separates a good agent from a bad agent? And are they underestimating the work and the follow-up that is required to really make these leads, turn into something?
Totally. So that takes us to the second part. So now let's say you've actually partnered with a company who respects your time and is trying to set you up for success and is going to vet the consumer and then introduce them to you. Now there are agents that are going to do great with that and agents that are not, even though all that work was done. And what separates agents that really succeed in that is a few things. One, they recognize what the consumer experience was. This consumer went onto the internet. They've been in the housing journey. They've been on Movoto in this case, and they've been looking at homes for months, if not years. And now they've decided to take an action. And you might be their first professional conversation, but they don't know you. And we've done our best to remind them why you're great, that you've been doing a bunch of transactions, that you're an expert buyer's agent that's going to help them, or if they're trying to sell their home, an expert selling agent. But at the end of the day, they've never met you. And that first impression is key. And when I like to
make or break it, without a doubt.
Make or break it. And my example of this, my visual view of this process is in what is the movie where they go to the planet Avatar. Sky Mountains of Avatar, and they got to hook up to like those aerial things, and they got to hook up their tail. And it's high stakes. That's what it's like meeting a consumer off the internet. Your first impression very dangerous. If you mess it up, you're going to get kicked off the Sky Mountain.
Yep.
But if you ease into it, you have a good first impression, you remind them of your value, you ask them questions, you don't seem too pushy, you're going to build trust quickly. That's step one.
Yep.
Good first impression. Don't get kicked off the Sky Mountain, the Cloud Mountain, whatever it's called. Now that's like, great, we're in the game. The person didn't get turned off. All of the work is yet to actually come, which is great. So now I picked up the phone and I had first impression. Now you have to follow up. You have to set a meeting. That's a key thing that our successful agents do. Time and place. Let's get to work. And then you really just have to stay on top of it. There are consumers that are ready to make an offer on a house tomorrow. There's also consumers that are 6 months out. And our great agents kind of seal that relationship up front and then know how to kind of stay in touch with that consumer. You know, a lot of kind of agents that are not experienced with it will prejudge the consumer. And this happens in all sales, right? You hear something, you feel like they're not real. But I see all the time, perfect example, a close friend of mine, luxury agent, has been asking for leads for a long time from us. And I've always felt like, hey, you're a luxury agent. I'm not sure that the typical person that's on the website, average house price, depending on the market, somewhere between 300,000 and 600,000, that might not be your ideal customer. But he kept telling me he'd be great. His first lead from Movoto was a person looking at a $12 million house.
Whoa.
I told him
that's what I call a good lead.
Not to expect that. But he didn't believe it was a real lead. And he overly vetted it.
And rightly so. I wouldn't think
he
that
overly vetted it. And it turns out he was able to recover. It was a very real consumer. Incredible woman he has a relationship with. They're not under contract yet, but they will be soon. And he's going to get a great listing. But he had to make sure that he treated it as a real opportunity. Otherwise, you know, if you don't really approach every one of these like a real opportunity, you will lose them.
Well, I mean, that's the way, you know, I personally, and I know a lot of other people approach it that way too, because I mean, the person that you're talking to may not be qualified or may not be ready right then, but you have to treat them like they are, like they're going to be a real client, because they probably will at some point, or somebody else that they know. I've gotten so many leads from other people that they know, and it's because of the way that I treated them. So without a doubt, you have to treat them with respect.
That's what a great agent does, is they're giving top level, world-class service on every interaction.
Everyone.
And they'll give us feedback on, hey, I don't think that person's qualified, but that consumer doesn't feel underserved. And what often happens for any of them that really aren't capable is they will refer additional business to our top agents.
Yep. So let's talk about Movoto versus Zillow, because everyone's talking about Zillow, and you know, it's not that they necessarily want to work with Zillow. I think they're just looking at lead gen sources, and so they're looking at what's out there, what's available, where they can get any leads from. And obviously, we have some that use Movoto and Zillow, both of them. So it's not like they have to stick with one. So everyone, a lot of people know Zillow. A lot of people are beginning to know Movoto. It's becoming more prominent out there in the market, without a doubt. So can you talk a little bit about the differences between Zillow and Movoto?
Look, at a high level, we are both massively at scale real estate websites that millions of Americans are on searching for homes. And most of them are on both of our websites. The process with Movoto is they fill out a lead form. They ask for help. We call them and have a one-on-one conversation with them.
Just a lot more hands-on, a lot better
vetting, and then we live transfer them. And then the real, I think, difference is the kind of relationship management for our teams and agents, and the business models. We have several different, very unique solutions for our teams and agents that don't exist in the market.
Gotcha.
One of those is the Movoto Select Network Advantage. That is, individual
Hmm.
agents can get exclusive leads from us in a fixed number a month. That doesn't exist in the space. So live transfers, predictable volumes. That's one unique program we have. Pro Plus is a program of which a real estate team can kind of get a fixed number of live referrals for their organization, and the
Mm.
model allows them to do it in a viable way to help scale their team. And then Pro Plus Elite is this new program that is really kind of industry leading right now, where a team leader is able to bring world-class mortgage, all the products their agents need, great pricing in the market, world-class experience, as you know, at Lower, we're obsessed with for the consumer and their
Yep.
agents. And then that real estate team owner is able to bring that to market in partnership with us, and
Mm.
sharing the economics in an
Okay.
industry compliant way that sets them, their team, and their consumers up for success. And so I think really
Gotcha.
we've been obsessed from the beginning in how do we bring experiences to the market that treat customers with respect, get them the best experts and the highest touch service as quick as possible,
Yep.
while respecting the needs of the industry professionals. And I think
Yep.
it's not a Movoto, Zillow, Homes, Realtor, Redfin thing. I think we
Hmm.
have done a very good job at not choosing. Some people
Yeah.
have said agents, they are the number one thing. Others have said
Hmm.
consumers, they are the number one thing. We have from the beginning said we believe agents, loan officers, and consumers are at the heart of real estate transactions, and you need to provide
Right.
solutions that work for all three, and not
Hmm.
just say like you have to compromise. And so in all
Yeah.
of our
Yeah.
products and all of our delivery, lots of transparency to consumers, over communication, and staying in touch, and over service. And then for the LOs and top agents, figuring out business models, support that makes their job easier and enables them
Hmm.
to do more.
So I don't know if there's any way that you can know this other than just kind of assuming this happens, but are do you think that agents and maybe you can talk about to what degree that they may be competing, with the same leads across different
Um,
platforms? I mean, I don't know if there's any way we can really quantify that.
Yeah. No, I mean, I would say 20% of real estate leads, the person has filled out a form on multiple
Yeah.
platforms. It's why we take very seriously
Yeah.
two things. One, getting to that consumer, because you'll see this. You'll see
Yeah.
someone fill out a lead on Homes and a lead on Movoto. And it's
Hmm.
very important
Yeah.
that we get to them first.
Yep.
And so that's one, speed to lead. We put that on ourselves because great agents can't be expected to contact a consumer 24/7 within 20 seconds. I can. I have
Right.
the technology and operations to ensure I do that, of which I do. If it creeps
That's where
above
AI
20
comes in.
seconds, I get concerned. The only
Yeah.
real estate agent that can at scale do that is one that's not doing any real estate transactions, right? Like
Yeah.
that's not
Yeah.
real. So
Yeah.
we take that on ourselves. And then we work
Yep.
really hard to make sure they're not already working with an agent. So we don't create
Hmm.
this bad consumer experience, which had kind of happened for a while in the industry.
Yeah. Just a
A
lot of
lot of
confusion.
confusion. We basically say, hey,
Yeah.
you're going to commit to an agent. Are you working with another agent? If they
Hmm.
are, we're not attempting to break up that relationship. We're really trying to make sure they're
Yep.
working with the right professional.
Yep. Is there, and you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, because I'm sure it's kind of it just varies across markets, everything, and
Yeah.
agents. But is there kind of a if I was going to bring an agent on and they wanted to get started, they don't want to spend a ton of money, but they said, look, I want to spend an accurate amount for leads to try
Yeah.
and get myself going on this platform. I mean, what's kind of a realistic spend,
Yeah,
you
so
think?
there's kind of
Uh,
two core models. One is an individual agent solution, and one is a team solution. So on the
yep.
agent solution, think about it as, you know, uh, I want, you know, no less than 3 or 4 kind of referrals a month, no more than 10, because um, if you sign up for too much,
Yeah.
you're going to drop that experience on the floor, right?
Yeah.
Like you need to,
Yeah.
once you start turning in
You got to
transactions,
set some limits.
an individual agent can only scale so much. So
Yeah.
a couple hundred a month at most on
Yeah.
the individual agent.
Mm-hmm.
And then the opposite on kind of a team, you want to make sure it's meaningful enough that
Mm-hmm.
this is actually moving your business and
Yeah.
engaging your agents. And so you're kind of in the minimum of 1,000, and
Yep.
depending on the size of your team and agents. So what we do is, you're a team in Orlando. If you have 10 agents, you might have $1,000 package. If you have 100 agents, you might have a $10,000 a month package. And so
Okay. Gotcha.
we're really customizing it based on your
Mm-hmm.
business, with the goal of, we want partners, we want people engaged where
Yep.
this is making a difference to their business enough
Right.
that they can really focus on it.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. So do you we kind of talked about this before we went online, but do you have any like one or two success stories about somebody that you like, an agent you like to talk about just real briefly about, kind of what you're seeing out there?
Yeah, I mean, I am. I'm talking to our teams and agents every day. So any day you ask me, I'll give you a
A different one.
different example. Um, James Maroli, an amazing team leader, real estate for a cause, out of Michigan. He's a
Yep.
long-standing partner of ours, and he just kind of does everything right in the
Yeah.
execution of a team.
Yep.
He is very intentional
Hmm.
about meeting with his agents and really running a team.
Hmm.
Yeah, I tried to talk to him yesterday, and he had 18 one-on-ones or something yesterday.
Wow. Wow.
So this is just a man that is deep in his business, supports
Focused.
his agents, and then as a partner with us, very intentional about,
Hmm.
here's the area I'm trying to grow.
Yep.
Here's where I'm trying to recruit agents. I want these type of consumers. And then as part of his training and playbook, his agents, they work internet leads with great intention.
Yeah.
And as such, he's closing significantly higher volumes than the average real estate team that's on our platform, and making a ton of money and coming to us and saying, how do we go deeper? How do we get more leads?
Hmm.
I see examples of like that across the country, where great team leaders are just really leaning into, how do I select the right packages and then make sure my agents are really working hard.
Hmm.
And then there's the individual agent example. My friend Dave Shapiro, he's taken those introductions serious. He recovered off of thinking a very high quality consumer wasn't qualified, and he's doing all the follow up, and he's going to get a real good return from it.
Yep. Yeah, it's kind of like everything else. I mean, I don't know the stats numbers that everyone talks about, but when you're working with an internet lead, for every 100 leads or calls that you may close 2, 3, 4 deals. I mean, it's going to vary dramatically, but yeah, you're right though. It takes consistency, dedication, focus, and a lot of follow up. A lot of people that I know may call once or twice, it doesn't go anywhere, so they just give up.
Yeah.
But I've worked with some clients that,
Calls, it's staying patient.
yeah,
It's
without a doubt.
communicating that you're there to serve
Yep.
today.
And when they're ready,
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's see. We've kind of talked about a lot of stuff. So let's see. How if we're looking at different areas, because I'm in the state of Florida,
Yeah.
and I know that I can work with different agents or teams
Yeah.
throughout the state.
Yeah.
So can you talk a little bit about how leads, when they flow in through Movoto, how they're distributed to teams and realtors, and then even ones that are unassigned?
Yeah.
What happens to those?
Yeah. So we have today, you go on to Movoto, you fill out a lead form, and the leads are going to two main places. One is these Pro Plus teams, or now Pro Plus Elite teams, where you have a team leader all in and partnering with us.
Yep.
The other group is Movoto Select Network Advantage. Those are the top priorities teams deeply embedded in our platform or individual agents deeply embedded in our platform. Our goal 100% of the time is to get a consumer to one of those two programs,
Okay.
for the pure reason that they are the best performers, and really are the best experience for our consumers and our business. If they are not available in most markets, we are sold out into those programs. And so it really is about finding, which I'll get to next, the kind of best agent to partner with, and probably replacing an agent versus filling in a white space.
Gotcha.
So that's one. Two is, if that's not in there, we spill over into a kind of a traditional agent network. That happens less and less. And so you really should think about the most leads are going into our existing partners.
Right.
Well, how do I get into that program? We work for a mortgage company. We do believe in all the data that lending is becoming essential for our consumers.
Sure.
And a great partnership is a loan officer, an agent working to serve a consumer.
Yep.
And so the top priority experience is when we have a retail branch that is on our platform. They activate in something called Lower Connect, and then they're partnering with us to say, what is the right team or agent to partner with me? And in that case, what ends up happening is the team and the loan officers, they meet. We create a kickoff event. We share our products. We make sure everybody's on the same page. And then when a consumer comes in, they're introduced to the loan officer and the agent. So a team is formed.
Okay.
That program is rolling out market by market every single day. And it is our kind of nirvana experience that we're creating, because what it leads to is happier consumer, an agent that is making more money, and a loan officer that is being set up for success.
Yep.
And so that's happening across the country right now.
So this, I was going to ask this earlier, but I kind of forgot about it. But that you just reminded me. So now you guys are pretty much nationwide, correct? I mean, you're in
Movoto's live in
in
almost
state.
every zip code in the US. There's
Gotcha.
always like one MLS that we're not in. But
do you have different parts of the country that are doing better than others, or you're seeing a massive amount of growth in specific parts of the country? Or is it just very day to day?
Where there are more consumers,
Yeah.
we have more volume.
Yeah.
But this is working in LA. It's working in San Francisco. It's working in Connecticut. It's working in Miami. It's working in Nashville. It's working in lower income areas of Detroit and everywhere in between. So it really is.
Makes sense.
Real estate is starting to pick up again. Transactions are starting to happen. Traffic on Movoto and leads on Movoto go up every single week.
Yeah.
And so no, we're really kind of seeing success nationwide right now.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. All right. So I think that's pretty much all I had. So a couple final closing questions that I had. So assuming that we have, and I think you kind of talked about this a little bit. So what is the process for signing up teams and single realtors? And who should, say, for example, that if somebody sees this video, they go, man, I have a lot of interest in Movoto. I kind of want to get started, or at least get more specific information and see what's right for me. Who should they contact?
Yeah, I think, look, if you're seeing this video, you reach out to me. I'm the president of real estate. We will put my email in there. That's more than fine. Connect me with LinkedIn. This isn't some big corporate company. I mean, all the execs in this company, we are working, we are in the field. We're having a lot of fun. So every day I'm talking to teams and agents. We got a great staff. We can put some contacts in the.
What I'm going to do is when I post this, it's going to have all the contact information. I'll put emails, phone numbers, and my contact info as well, and I can always forward that to the right people. So
and I will say, if you know a lower loan officer or someone that works on the mortgage side of our business, those are the people to reach out to.
Yeah,
because,
get to them.
Again, in many markets, this is a sold out product.
Yes,
and we are not short real estate teams and agents wanting to join us.
Yeah.
What we want is a real estate partner that really sees this value of bringing the mortgage and real estate experience together. That is the trend. Consumers want it. They don't want to shop around. They don't want to go to multiple people. They want one team in a trusted environment. And at Lower, that is what we're doing. And so if you want to skip the wait list, find a Lower loan officer, because when they come in, they get to move people up the wait list.
Yep. Okay. Awesome. Well, that is some awesome information. I appreciate you being here, John. So, thanks for being here. And until next time, we will see you guys.
Thanks so much. Take care, Connor.